The first Avatar was the highest-grossing film of all time, so James Cameron had to come back with sequels for this franchise, which proved to be bigger and better than ever. It won't be unfair to say that Avatar: The Way of Water lays the groundwork for a truly spectacular adventure. Despite this movie isn't quite what people were expecting, though it does set up a threequel that will deliver on that promise for sure. In today's video, we are going to discuss how Avatar 3 is set up to be what we wanted from The Way of Water, and much more than that. So let's dive into the video, shall we? What box office footprint did Avatar: The Way of Water leave? Back in 2019, the world of Pandora theme parks were described as the jewel in the crown of Disney's Fox acquisition. The box office for Avatar: The Way of Water looks promising. It's on track to put the sequel on track to be the biggest box office success of 2022. The film has received positive responses from both audiences and critics, implying that positive word of mouth will boost its performance. Why was Avatar: The Way of Water not proven to be the big movie fans thought it'd be? Avatar: The Way of Water picks up where the first film left off, with the Sky People reappearing and Pandora under threat once more. The stakes are higher this time because the Sky People aren't just after Pandora's unobtainium. They intend to terraform the entire planet. Surprisingly, Avatar: The Way of Water skips over the Na'vi insurgency against Pandora's occupiers, instead focusing on a personal vendetta that drives Jake Sully and his family to seek refuge with the Metkayina tribe. Cameron's writing is astute because it allows him to use familiar story beats in a new context, themes of exploration and wonder, as Jake and his Omaticaya family learn to thrive in a completely different Pandoran environment. The shift in scale is most noticeable in the third act. The conclusion of Avatar: The Way of Water is merely a minor skirmish, a clash between one tribe and a small group of Sky People, rather than a decisive one. This event is only significant because it jolts Jake Sully back into action, convincing him that the Sky People must be defeated. It is the call to adventure, not the adventure itself, which many viewers did not expect. What were the early responses to Avatar: The Way of Water? The reactions were mostly positive. It was light years better than the first, and easily one of the best theatrical experiences in ages. It's an Avatar movie, which means that it's going to slow start, build big, incredibly involving second act with a ton of world building and cool creatures that bless you way out. Then, an hour of screamingly good, crystal clear, emotionally trenchant action to send you home full and happy. Fans had high hopes, and it completely delivered the performance. Sure, it's a little long, but it's worth it for the stunning visuals and intriguing new characters. It was an absolute thrill. Avatar: The Way of Water is a film to be admired more than loved. Some remarkable spectacle, some throwback to Titanic set pieces, and some really lovely visual flourishes. However, it is interminably, ploddingly overlong, and more impressive than truly absorbing. The good news is that 3D is back, and the action is spectacular. However, many of the storylines feel choppy, and the high frame rate was hit or miss. Is the Avatar franchise liked by the masses? The cultural impact of Avatar is frequently underestimated. This is most likely due to the script's derivative nature, which, oddly enough, may be a key component of its success. Cameron specializes in dealing with archetypes, and he uses them so confidently and authentically that they still appeal. Despite this, Avatar has made more money than any other film in history, simply because audiences keep coming back, even for re-releases. Disney has wisely ignored the critical debate, recognizing that people adored Avatar, continued to watch it, and will eagerly await sequels. Smart marketing has served to remind viewers of everything they loved about the first film, while the emphasis on underwater environments ensured that Avatar would not be perceived in the same light. How did James Cameron go about making The Way of Water? James Cameron is writing, producing, and editing Avatar: The Way of Water, as he did with Avatar in 2009. James Cameron is one of the most talented filmmakers working today, having created films ranging from Titanic to The Terminator. He's best known for his distinct visual style, which works best on the big screen and has been a draw for audiences for decades. The first Avatar had a huge huge impact on the film industry, thanks in large part to the remarkable technological innovations Cameron made during its production. CGI-heavy films are notorious for deteriorating with age, but this is not the case with Avatar, which remains stunning and immersive to this day. This achievement is all the more impressive given that Avatar's success sparked a surge in 3D films, but few were able to pull it off as well. Much has been made of the film's visuals and how James Cameron and his creative team literally invented new technology in order to photograph the large number of underwater scenes in the way they desired. This isn't just marketing speak. The Way of Water is a breathtaking film, especially when it explores Pandora's seas. Does the upcoming Avatar 3 look promising? The newly released trailer of Avatar 3 shows Jake and Neytiri snuggling up as a family more than a decade after the original film, which took place in 2154. Viewers get to know the couple's Na'vi children, Neteyam, Lo'ak, and Tukturi, returning to the franchise in a new role. The story is about family, how they are trying to stay together, and the lengths they all go to protect each other and the place where they live. It's based very much on James Cameron's family and his joy in the family, as well as how vulnerable you are when you have children, which is an interesting and pragmatic approach. To be fair, how did the actors cope with the underwater scenes in Avatar 2? The trailer contains plenty of visually stunning ocean footage, which also serves to highlight the cast's impressive breath-holding abilities as they trained with specialists to be able to shoot extended takes of scenes underwater without coming to the surface for air. Kate Winslet, Michelle Yeoh, Cliff Curtis, Edie Falco, and Jermaine Clement are among the newcomers to the franchise. Saldana revealed in an interview that her personal record for holding her breath underwater was 5 minutes. Why will Avatar 3 be the massive movie people want? James Cameron is aware of what people are anticipating. The decision to tell a more intimate story is understandable, and in fact, probably wise. However, he is well aware that audiences are expecting a much more spectacular conflict. That story will undoubtedly be told in Avatar 3, with Jake Sully leading the Na'vi against the Sky People once more. The humans have arrived in force this time, and they have no plans to leave. Earth is dying, and they want to claim Pandora as their new home. They've dubbed their new base of operations Bridgehead City, referring to a secure position inside enemy territory from which to advance or attack. They're probably starting a terraforming project because humans will undoubtedly want to change Pandora's atmosphere. The Na'vi will soon be fighting for their lives. This should provide Cameron with plenty of opportunities to demonstrate more of his technological innovations. Is it possible that Avatar 4 and 5 will be even bigger than the previous parts? Cameron is an astute writer. He's effectively relaunched the franchise with Avatar: The Way of Water, deliberately reducing the scale so he can build it back up over the course of the franchise. Cameron, as producer John Landau recently stated, wants each Avatar film to raise the bar in every way, including scale. Avatar: The Way of Water will inevitably be surpassed by Avatar 3, which will be surpassed by Avatar 4 and Avatar 5. There have even been persistent rumors that the franchise will eventually leave Pandora and return to Earth, completely flipping the narrative. Nonetheless, audiences would be wise to take away an important lesson from Avatar: The Way of Water. Cameron will continue to focus on the characters at the heart of his story. Lo'ak, for example, has formed a bond with a rogue Tulkun, beginning an arc that promises to transform him into a one-of-a-kind figure on Pandora, a role he will play out of compassion, not warrior instincts. Kiri is a messianic figure, perhaps hinting at an arc in which the Na'vi triumph through building bridges rather than fighting. To be sure, the conflict in Avatar 3 will be significant and spectacular, but Avatar: The Way of Water suggests it may not be the emotional center. How does Avatar measure success according to the makers? Of course, the bar being a hit for Avatar is set much higher, as the first installment became the highest-grossing film film ever because each installment is extremely expensive to produce. Turning a profit for the franchise requires at least $1 billion. Landau isn't alone in his confidence. Cameron revealed a producer's reaction when they read the script for Avatar 4, and early box office reports indicate that Avatar: The Way of Water will do well in theaters worldwide. Furthermore, early critics' reactions were overwhelmingly positive, and the fact that Avatar's visuals alone entice people to go to the movies may imply that our return to Pandora is a foregone conclusion. What does the future of the Avatar franchise look like? Cameron is fully expecting Avatar 3 to be the final film in his franchise. If The Way of Water fails to meet the studio's expectations, Avatar 3 will have to be the film that concludes the entire story. Cameron has already shot the majority of the footage for Avatar 4 because he wanted the children in Avatar 2 to be the same age throughout the films. To maintain continuity, the filmmaker chose to continue principal photography for movies that haven't been fully greenlit, rather than digitally age them to be the same age. Cameron is a realistic director. He understands that things can change at any time and is prepared to present a clean and satisfying conclusion to the Avatar films if necessary. If not, the ending scene could be reused in another Avatar film or completely scrapped and deemed unnecessary. Let us know in the comments if you're excited about the upcoming Avatar 3. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.